Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. So I met this gentleman a couple years ago, and I was so impressed and blown away by everything he was able to accomplish. And I find out that we're both Haitian, so I had to bring him on. James, what's up, man?
Hey, Jube, what's up, boss? Good to be with you here, guys. Listen, you're talking about you are blown away by what I have accomplished. How about you, boss?
Well, thank you, sir. So, all right, before we get the ball rolling, my audience and everyone wants to know who is James?
Well, great, man. It's been a long journey. It's a gem that is constantly upgrading, evolving. So let's talk about where we are now, okay, or maybe where
Mm,
we come from. I'm from Haiti.
yeah.
Was born in Haiti from a fairly poor family. Pretty much, look, there was no way out for me. My
Mm,
parents were poor. There was no way to make it in the island until I caught a big break back in the 90s, which meant that my dad actually took the risk of an
mm.
amazing journey to come to the US on a small boat,
Wow.
stuck at sea for about 31 days, nearly died, was rescued
Wow.
by the US Coast Guard, and gets here. And for that next 30 years, my dad would work two jobs in restaurants and hotel, trying to provide for the family. And we came over back in the 90s and really
Wow.
started life. But there was one thing that my dad always said, look, if you keep working hard here in the US, if you keep studying hard and eventually you'll make it. So,
Mm.
and I went through the journey of failures, learning, figuring out the hard way. And eventually the Lord blessed and found us a way to be able to
I
serve
love it.
our communities, our people, and to serve our clients, and to just be a useful citizen. So that's me in a nutshell,
I
sir.
love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. I can relate to that story because, I came from Haiti as well. So I know how that is. I'm curious, let's go forward and then we'll go backward again. What do you have going on now?
Yeah. So pretty much what happened was that I was working in corporate America,
Hmm.
really building life. And until one day, I got that amazing call that we all dread of getting, which is the boss calling in the office. And it wasn't review time. You know that it wasn't about a raise. Yes, you got laid off.
Wow.
So here we are. I got laid off with it was the dot-com bubble. And when
Hmm.
that happened, my wife was pregnant with our
Mm.
first son. I had just gotten married and I was trying to figure out what am I going to do. Within 30 days, all my funds were out. I had no more money. And the funny thing, I couldn't tell my wife that I was laid off because I didn't want her to be panicked. So
Yeah.
every morning I'll wake up and go to the library and act like I was working, except for that I wasn't. I was just looking
Mm.
for jobs. And
Mm.
one day I was on my way to from the library and I needed to put gas. And
Yeah.
then I go ahead and swap my card and it was going and going. And at $1.35, it stops, meaning
Wow.
that that's all I had in my bank account. And I was in tears. And so
Wow.
I got home and well, divine intervention. I got home and I got a call from a company and to let me know that they would give me a chance.
Hmm.
And forward, when I got that job, I made a promise to myself. I said, Lord, if you give me this chance, if you allow me to get a job, I promise you, I will never allow that my future, my family's future, to be in the hands of just one person. That I would go
Mm.
out there and create a business for
Mm.
myself and that I would have control over what happens to my family. So that's kind of how I started, built two businesses that done very well. And now I'm actually in the journey of figuring out that there are so many of our own friends and
Yeah.
family members, professionals who are gifted, but just don't figure out the business side of things on how to build a profitable business. So
Yeah.
I'm actually now doing business coaching and helping our clients putting the pieces that they need to put in place to build a profitable business that just not only pay for a dream lifestyle, but
Yeah.
also allow them to build a legacy, to
Wow.
change the course of their family's history. So that's the big vision here.
I feel so connected to that story because I too got laid off, not once, but got laid off twice.
Wow.
And I've been in that position where I told myself that I would never let anybody else control my future. So I can relate so much to that. And I'm sure that a lot of our audience can as well. I'm curious, you said you built two successful businesses. Tell us more about that. Like, which company did you build first? Kind of give us a little bit of background here.
Sure. So first I built a financial planning company,
Hmm.
and I was just really out of being good-hearted
Yeah.
because my dad when my dad retired, and I was expecting he would be having a good life because he's
Hmm.
been putting money in his 401k forever. Well, except for my dad didn't know what to do. He didn't move his money, and then the market tanked. He lost all his money.
God.
So now I had to get with my siblings to really become my dad's retirement plan. And I'm like,
Wow.
well, how many of our people don't know how this money system works, don't know how
Yeah.
to invest? And I thought that there was a need to serve. So I went into financial planning and start building and going to communities and teaching
Hmm.
financial literacy. That message resonated a bit. Then the whole health insurance comes on. We were helping out, and the whole
Yeah.
housing thing comes on. We were also there. And then eventually we've grown a very, very successful business where we were helping entrepreneurs and professionals pretty much build a financial freedom,
Yeah.
creating a way to create a financial literacy. But then after that happens and we're doing very well, then my sister realized that, hey, you know what? There was a lot of need for law. People were asking
Mm.
for law stuff. And when they come to
Hmm.
our office, we were sending them to estate planners, we were sending them to all kind
Mm.
of lawyers to do their wills. Well, there was one thing. They were saying that the services were just not like ours. And they
Mm.
wish they could have gotten it from us. I said, all right,
Mm.
we can create that magic for you too. So then my sister, we say, well, we needed someone to go to law school. So I take
Yeah.
all my siblings' names, we throw them in the hat, and 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 we pick one name. And my sister was the one who got unlucky. Don't let her hear this.
Wow. That's amazing how you guys decide how to go to law school.
That was
Uh,
funny. And it so happened she went to law school. She one of the most amazing
yeah.
lawyer out there. And here's the funny thing. So when she comes back, and the
Hmm.
question was, does she go get a job or does she start a law firm right away? I said, ma'am, we are starting a law firm right away. And within 2.5 years, we break the $1 million mark. And within 3, 4, 5 years, we're already in the 5 mil. So it's a
Woo,
blessing from the
that's
Lord, yes.
good.
And
That's
so now
good.
currently we have offices in Orlando, Florida. We have an
Hmm.
offices in Atlanta. We have one in Indiana. We have one in Ohio. So pretty much we're trying to build an amazing global immigrations and PI law firm where we really bring amazing service and really advocate for our people, for those who
Wow.
really need it. So very, very, very
First,
excited about that.
congratulations. Congratulations, because one, you got set as a family and made that decision. And then she didn't say, no, I'm not doing it. She went and actually do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm curious because I had a chance to visit one of your offices in Atlanta. You have a building and you have all family members working in that building. How do you do that?
Well, a couple of things. First, let's give a huge credit to my dad. Okay, my
Mm.
dad has really enforced on us for a very long time. He always say, we are like little stakes, right? If you are by yourself, anyone could break you, but if you put two or
Yeah.
three of them, then it was pretty hard to break.
Mm.
And so he's always been into us being united. But I think more importantly, so we've been always a tight family, but we have also delved into a lot of personal development
Yeah.
and learning how to really live better, understanding how to be better, how to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
So we all get along. And also there was one thing that was important for us was that we were very legacy minded. We wanted to
Okay.
make sure we would build a legacy that could pass for generations because
Yeah.
I promised my dad because of the sacrifices made, because of the journey he took from Haiti to the US,
Yeah.
it was a small way to say we will not let that journey goes in vain because he could have
Mhm.
lost his life. And the
Yeah.
way to do that was to honor the family's name for generation to come. And this is the why the law firm is called the El Marcius Joseph and Associate, which is my dad's last name.
Wow.
And three things that I learned in building legacy was that we wanted to put processes and systems in place so that it keep on going for a long time. That was number one.
Yeah.
Number two, we wanted to pass down values because we wanted
Mm.
the kids to really share the same values, understanding the value of staying together,
Yeah.
integrity and passions and doing excellent work. And third, we wanted to pass on the skill. So we've worked very hard in having our own family retreats. they're, having family coaching, and
Wow.
getting everybody to buy into the visions, buy into the values, and understanding that it's a much bigger picture than every one of us. And
Amazing.
surprisingly, we're able to recruit our in-laws, right? Which is the hard one.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. You guys were able to do that. And you've been able to help so many business owners in the process. Now you're working and coaching a lot of business owners. Talk to us a little bit more about that. How does that process works? What are some of the challenges you've seen business owners or having and how you guys been able to help them?
Yeah, great. So one of the things I've been seeing, because as a financial planner, I was sitting down with a lot of business owners, and we were looking
Yeah.
at the profit and loss statement. I was looking at their taxes, and I realized there was one common refrain: there were no profit. Okay,
Mm,
there was just a lot of losses, a lot of effort, but there was no pure profit. And I
mm-hmm.
felt like the dream that every business owners have was to have control of their time, control of their
Yeah.
money, and be able to really live a dream lifestyle. I realized that they were 6, 7, and 8 years into business, and they were nowhere near that. And I
Yeah.
knew that it's because they did not have the proper processes in place. I
Mm,
knew that the vision was not clear. I knew that they were doing a lot of things, but
mm-hmm.
they were not doing the critical, needle
Mm,
moving activities, the things that makes the difference. And
yeah.
so I said, okay, I wanted to first, before I said, well, coaching takes some learning. I knew I could build a business.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I am trained. I do have an MBA, and so I'm pretty well versed into running a business. But studying the books is one thing, and actually make it happen
Yes.
on the go is another thing. So I wanted to make sure that I could do that for me, then do it for another business. So I take a couple of other businesses on and try our processes, and we
Mm-hmm.
had phenomenal results.
Mm,
And from there, I opened the door and bring in more clients, more friends, and they seems to be very happy with what to do or what we're
mm.
doing with them. But our key main purpose here is to make sure we create profit, build a
Okay.
business that can be profitable so that it can pay for your dream lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
also allow you to be able to build a legacy if that is something you are interested in.
Mm,
So we trying to put those pieces in place because I believe there are some very specific key place things and processes you need to put in place to get that happen. And most businesses don't have that.
wow. I love the fact that you guys are doing that. And you mentioned something a lot of people don't think about, right? Being profitable. Because you hear a lot out there, write everything off on your taxes and but nobody's talking about, okay, how do you become more profitable as a business?
Oh
And even
yeah, that
then.
and and believe me, that's the key because this is
Yeah.
why you live your 9 to 5
Yeah.
for you to run a business. So usually when I get with beginners, the very
Mm-hmm.
first thing I said, let's put a plan together to replace your $150,000 income. Because if
Mm.
you can make $150,000 net profit in your
Yes.
business, then you can survive to build the business. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So the first thing is how do we create $150,000 of net profit? Not gross revenue. Okay. What's
Net,
left for
yeah.
you that you
After
can take as
expenses.
an
Yeah.
income for yourself? I want to make sure that happens to you right off the bat. Because I believe if we can create 150, then we can scale it up to 250
Mm-hmm.
and as income. So if I can get you to make $250,000 of income, you can start creating a decent life for yourself,
Yeah.
literally. And from there, we can take it to the 7 figures. So I know a lot of people talk about creating 7 figures, but to
Yeah.
me, I like to take it step by step. I say, man,
Yeah.
let's get you out of your 9 to 5. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's make 150 now. And then 150, great. Now let's bring you to a little bit of more interesting lifestyle. Let's get to 250.
Yeah.
Then once that's done, I said, let us build some legacy now. Let's go to 6 figures, 7 figures. Let us build and scale something that we
Love
can
it.
pass for generation down.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, working with all these business owners, and that means you're also running your own business, right? So all those businesses that you've ran, from the financial planning to the law firm to now the coaching, what has been some of like one of your biggest mistakes and lessons?
Well, I'd say bigger mistake is probably not to, well, the biggest one was not to hire a coach sooner. That was
Mm,
probably was my biggest mistake.
tell
Not
us
to
more.
work with someone who's done it. I know that may probably sound a bit self-serving, but it was true
Yeah.
because there's so much for us to learn in
Hmm.
business, and there's such a learning curve that
Hmm.
you can sit there and try to figure out in 7, 8, 9 years, or you
Yeah,
can really work with someone who's done it before, who have traveled that path, and be
yeah.
able to shorten that for you. So I have found that when I delve into personal development, professional development, working with a
Mhm.
coach and who's really pushing me and really guiding me and really giving perspective, that just blow my business away. So I
Mm,
think the biggest thing I learned is to have a third eye, so an eye with an experience,
yeah.
someone who know what's ahead of you and be able to tell you turn this way and turn that way. So that was my biggest mistake, was to take a longer time into seeking for that help. And my biggest learning is that if you persist, you can get it done. It's
Mm,
going to work out.
mm,
Okay, it's always going to work out. So for those who are struggling out there, I'd say business is difficult.
yeah.
It's challenging. Your first 2, 3 years is probably a year of figuring it out, messing up, and
Hmm.
juggle things around. So you got to give yourself time, right? Obviously, a coach can help you shorten that time, but regardless, there is a period of time, 2, 3 years, where you're really trying to fumble things around, trying to figure out things. But don't discourage because of that journey. Know that you can figure it out
Yeah.
and it's gonna work out just fine.
You said something here, right? Your biggest mistake is not hiring a coach sooner. And there's a lot of people doing that, right? Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think business owners are kind of like, I don't know if I need to hire a coach now. Like, why do you think that hesitation is happening for some of them?
Great. I think it happens first of all. Well, let's just say there are a lot of bad coaches out there. Okay.
That's true.
Okay, because listen, people can read books. To me, the
Hmm.
first thing is I don't want a coach who has not built a business. I don't want people to
Mm,
tell me about what's in the book, theories, and
mm.
what could work, what should work. I want someone who's done it, all
Yes.
right, who's trying through and know that they can get results. So that's the very first thing. A lot of people they work with people who give them a lot of stuff and then they can implement it. The
Hmm.
second thing is that as business owner there's always a sense of like, because you're in business because you're very confident about yourself,
Yeah.
and you know that you can figure things out and you are very optimistic, and sometimes there's not enough money, especially when we're starting. You're like, well, I'm going to pay somebody that much money. It looks like money
Hmm.
I could put in marketing, I could put in things. So it's very hard to see the value of that kind of
Hmm.
service. However, I'm going to warn my fellow business owners that when you find the right coach, and you should speak to as many as you can, looking
Yeah.
them up, see what they've done with their own businesses to see if that's what you want. But I do think when you find the right coach that has the right process and that can simplify things for you and allow you to take amazing action, powerful actions, I truly think it's a game changer. Because sometimes we want to take action, sometimes we know what to do, but being consistent to get it done, to go to being pushed, it's kind of like you go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
20, you're tired, you stop. But if you have a trainer, you say, give me five more.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
little
Push
five
you.
more is what's going to build the muscles. It's kind of
I
the
love
same
it.
thing in business.
Now, I know you have an event coming up to help a lot of business owners. Tell us a bit more about that.
Great. So I have this event. It's called the Level X Stepping Higher
Mhm.
Summit. It's a success summit, and it's done for business owners and professionals. And in those 2 days, 2020, no, June 21st and June 22nd. And what
Mhm.
we'll do is basically to take business owners and professionals and put them on a setting where we
Mm.
bring in a numbers of amazing speakers, trainers, people who've done it, people who have really conquered the world and made amazing success. I want
Mhm.
them to show our people what is the process of getting that done, putting us in a proper mindset, giving us connections. Because
Yeah.
when I go to these conferences, sometimes I meet people who's really open door for me. I get
Yeah.
to create joint ventures, collaborators, and really making things happen. So
Yes.
we want to create that opportunity. So it's an amazing 2 days event, very affordable, but it's a way in Atlanta. It's a way for us to really give back to our community so that we can do maximum teaching, give
Yeah.
them truly actionable plans they can go take to their offices and implement, and also to build good connections.
I love it. I love it. To kind of wrap things up, what is one small biz tip you can share with any business owners out there to help them in their journey?
Yes, I would say keep your mind sharp.
Mm,
Keep your mind sharp. That's because everything is in the mind.
mm-hmm,
Keeping you in a good mood, keeping your mindset positive,
mm,
managing your stress better, take
mm-hmm.
control of your emotions, and kind of stay steady mentally. Because business is gonna it's gonna throw things at you, man. I'm not even
Man,
lying. All right.
wow, I love
There
it.
are times I'm like, do I want to be doing this? There are times you're gonna be like, I can't do this anymore. And there are
Yeah.
times you're gonna feel like it's simply not going to work. But I'm
Mm,
gonna tell you, stay positive. Let yourself know. Tell yourself to let's go. There's one thing I like to tell my clients, and I do it to myself, is to commend yourself.
yes.
Abraham, I want you to say, hey, Loojimps, get up and leave. Get it done. Loojimps, make the call. Loojimps, go to that
Yeah.
appointment. So I have to actually
Yeah.
commend myself. I encourage everyone, commend yourself to do what you know it
Wow.
needs to be done in order for it to build an amazing business.
I love it. I love it. How do people get in touch with you, my brother, if they want to connect with you or work with you?
Sure. So they can go for a couple of things. If they want to go to come to the event
Mhm.
on June 21st and 22nd, they can go to www.levelxsummit.com, levelxsummit.com. So they can, register there. Or, but if they want to connect with me, they just go to levelxsuccess.com, www.levelxsuccess.com. Yeah, and they can reach out and connect and subscribe to our Sunday newsletter where we keep on helping them to really get in the right place, to get tips from us.
Mhm.
My dream is to really to get 1,000 entrepreneurs this year to put the things they need to be in place in order for them to build an amazing business. Meaning, I want them to create an amazing product. I call
Yeah.
it a golden goose product. It's a product that keeps giving you money and money after
Yeah.
day after. I want them to be able to create a money map for their business so that they're not guessing how they're going to make money, where they're going to make money, and how much. That needs to be very tight to the point where it's consistent. And
Mhm.
lastly, I want them to create an amazing, unique message that as soon as people hear the story, they know that they are the person that they want in their life. So my goal is
Wow.
to make sure every business get this foundation in place so that they can create a profitable business that can really pay for their lifestyle and also
Love
allow
it.
them to build a legacy. My dream, final dream, when I put that picture on, you see my brother, my sister, you see my sons, you see my sister's son, you see
Yeah.
my nephews, you see my in-laws, you see all of them in that company pictures.
Yes.
And they're all in our payroll, then you know that business has to support all these people, you know it's
Yeah.
real. My dream is for every entrepreneurs, if they wish to have the entire pictures of their families just like that, so that we can create generational wealth and breaking generational curse, because that's why we go into business. And I want whoever's listening today to be that person who start this movement and their
I love
family.
it. I love it. Guys, telling you, come to this event, connect with James. He is amazing, as you can see. He's just blown us away with so many gems. Thank you again for jumping on today, brother. Appreciate you.
Abraham, thank you so much for doing this, man. Thank you for the service you're giving to your community. Thank you for the inspiration. And you yourself is an amazing entrepreneur. So I want to congratulate you for the work you're doing and say, brother, keep on moving.
Let's go.